Okay, hold on just a second. Let me.
I'll
Okay,
do copy
we are
paste.
doing. This is your classmates. They all came back from Christmas, believe it or not.
Okay.
Anyhow, except for Seth, he's not. He's not always totally here. We're starting World War II today. Doing the causes. You should find a handout in your classroom and your homework questions. Okay. So they wanted to read, so we're gonna let them read, and I will film. Here we go. All right.
There were many factors that led up to the start of World War I in Europe. A lot of these factors are rooted in the deep history of old powers of Europe, including Russia, Germany, France, Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Britain. The real causes of World War I included politics, secret alliances, imperialism, and nationalistic pride. However, there was one single event, the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand of Austria, which started a chain of events leading to war.
Okay. The assassination of the Archduke was actually kind of like the last straw. Okay. You had all these other things that was building up. Tension was very high. Germany thought that they kind of thought they were surrounded by their enemy because all these other countries are making secret alliances just in case, because they all think Germany is up to something. So you got paranoia running rampant. Everyone is scared of the other guy. So the assassination of the Archduke, they like to tell you that is why World War I started. Truth of the matter is, it was not. I mean, that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, if you've ever heard that saying. Tension was so high that was it. When that happened, it was like, okay, boom, we're going to war. And it was like everybody starts declaring war on everybody else at this point in time, which is what we're ready to talk about. All right, Seth.
In the years leading up to the war, the nations of Europe were constantly jockeying for power and making alliances. Germany made an alliance with Austria-Hungary and Italy in 1881. These countries all agreed to protect each other in the event they were attacked by France. However, Italy then went and made a secret alliance with France, saying they would not aid Germany.
Yeah. Italy kind of was trying to play both sides of the fence on this one.
Because they knew that they didn't want to get clouded.
Yeah, they didn't want. Yeah, so they're kind of like telling Germany, yeah, we're going to side with you, and then they turn and run to the people that Germany is thinking is their enemy, and going, hey, you know what? We're not going to really help Germany. We just told them that. So they're kind of straddling the fence, is what they're doing. Now World War II rolls around, and of course Italy sides with Germany again. Y'all saw Seth winking at you, right? He's got an eye problem. But anyway, so Italy, but of course Italy drops out pretty. I mean, they surrender pretty quick in World War II, and as you can see, they're a little wishy-washy going into World War I, trying to play both sides of the fence again. But yeah, you're starting to see sides are starting to be taken. Alliances are starting to be formed, the whole bit, okay? All right, anybody else want to read for us? Anybody?
Carter does.
No?
No, he does.
All right, go ahead, Rihanna.
Yay.
Actually, yeah. My son's
Too late.
In the years leading up to the war, the nations of Europe were constantly jockeying for power and making alliances.
We did.
Yep,
Wait, we did?
yep, next one down.
Oh.
That's okay.
Imperialism in the
Recap.
is when a country expands. It's,
No. In response to Germany.
you said it was the next one.
That is the next one. That is
Golly!
In response
See, this is what happens when you want to read, but you don't pay
France
attention.
and Russia established an alliance in 1892. In 1904, Britain and France signed an agreement. The Triple Entente was formed between France, Britain, and Russia in 1907. Germany felt that this powerful alliance surrounding them posed a real threat and their existence and power in the region.
Okay. Hold on just a second. All right, so, again, let's let this side of the room do one. Go ahead.
Imperialism is when a country expands its influence and power into a large empire. Some European countries, such as France and Britain, had created large worldwide empires and had become very rich. Other European countries, such as Russia and Germany, wanted to create their own vast empires. This caused competition and conflict between many of the countries throughout the world.
Okay, so what's happening is all countries have done this. This is how you gain power. You gain land, you gain resources. You take over sometimes by force, sometimes just in agreement. You kind of take over other little countries, or they become part of you. You kind of oversee them. Think about right now the United States, and we have, because of the Spanish-American War, Guam, Puerto Rico, a couple, some of the more Caribbean islands that falls under the United States. They're not states, but they do fall under our territories. Cuba was part of Spain, if you remember. Vietnam was the French had Vietnam. Japan, at one point in time, controlled Korea and actually parts of China because of hostile takeovers. Okay, so there's different ways of doing this, but every country throughout the ages have either through, like say, agreements or power, have tried to take over existing countries. Yes.
Oh, can I read?
Yes.
We're on imperialism, right?
Yeah, we're on imperialism. We're not just saying.
No, we're on Europe.
Okay, which one are we after?
When will you learn that your actions have
Well, thank you.
1914.
Okay, in 1914, the situation in Europe was tense. Secret alliances, internal politics, and the desire to grow empires that built up distrust and dislike between many of the European powers. All it would take was one international event and Europe would be over.
Okay.
What
So-
is that? It's our dad's gun.
So we got all kinds. Stop. So we got all kinds of things going on here. Okay. Again, got a lot of hostility. Alliances are being formed. Germany kind of feels like they're surrounded by people that wants to attack them. So Germany kind of develops we're going to start the war or do something to help get the war started, because the sooner it started, the sooner it's over, and the better chance we've got of winning this thing. Okay.
For the whole.
Yeah. So that
The
was
rest
kind
of the
of
world
their thoughts. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to take us? All right, Julie.
I'll take these on On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz
Ferdinand.
the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary, was assassinated in Sarajevo. The Australia government believed that the assassination was organized by the Serbian government. They also saw this as an opportunity to regain control of Serbia.
Okay. All right. So, and the truth is, there was this almost like a terrorist group called the Black Hand Group, if you would. And they went to them and said, hey, the Archduke is coming. We want to assassinate him. How about y'all doing that? And they're like, no, but we'll help you out. We'll furnish you weapons. We'll train you a little bit, blah, blah, blah. And they did. And they actually attempt to kill him because he's coming down the street in an open car, with like a convertible. And they attempt to, they actually throw like a little bomb at him. And it fails. It goes off after he passes. So he makes a run for it in the car. I mean, they kind of get away. momentarily, but then,
Sniped in the head.
once they think he is safe again, a guy just walks right up, basically walks almost up to the car and shoots him. Yeah, so it didn't work, it didn't turn out. So they did assassinate him, it was a successful assassination. So that's what happened, and that, like I say, that was the straw that breaks the camel back, basically. Yes,
Can I read?
sure, why not? Whoop, hold up, yes.
So Serbia did kill the and it was the black, and they told them like we'll give you stuff, and then they actually did.
Yeah,
Did they assassinate him in Serbia?
do what now?
Did they assassinate the French Duke Archduke in Serbia?
Yes, when he's
I
the,
never get.
because you said you didn't want to,
No, I said I wanted to, then I changed my mind and I asked her.
and then you changed your mind back, so you
No,
see
I
what
didn't.
happened.
I kept reading.
I'm sorry, am I pointing the camera at you? Let's act like we're in a classroom and we have a little bit of sense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're being filmed. I think I want to be on my best behavior, not showing the parents of these children that we don't know how to behave. I'm just saying. All right, here we go.
Austria-Hungary issued a number of harsh demands on Serbia, threatened to invade if Serbia did not comply. They gave them 48 hours to respond. When Serbia's response fell short of the demands, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28th.
Okay, so they gave them a list of demands, and they actually meet most of these demands. One of the sticking points was Austria-Hungary wanted to be able to send in basically their police to rule over the people, and they said no, we're not going to put up with that. And that was so they kind of put some stipulations in there that they probably knew that they were not going to go for. So as soon as that happens, they do indeed declare war. Okay, all right, Carter,
Can I read this paragraph?
you can read the next paragraph.
Do you just want to read?
Stupid, I did go.
I would read the next paragraph.
Fine, I'll read this. Fine. I would like to.
Stop. This showed how spoiled we are.
Actually, I changed my mind.
Seriously, come on, you don't want to read? Oh, okay.
Card.
Who said they wouldn't read it?
I
All
will
right,
read
thank you,
it.
Hart.
Oh.
More declarations of war. Austria-Hungary had hoped that they could quickly take over Serbia, and that Serbia's ally, Russia, would not risk a major war in order to help Serbia. However, they figured wrong. Russia immediately began to mobilize its troops and prepare for war. In response, Germany, Austria-Hungary's close ally, declared war on Russia on August 1st. A few days later, Germany declared war on France and invaded Belgium. Britain then declared war on Germany, and World War I had begun.
Okay. So we start getting all these, everybody starts declaring war on everyone else, because you got to make it official. Does anyone know, speaking about declaring war, does anybody know what the last war that the United States fought in? What was the last war that we fought in?
World War III.
Vietnam.
All right, you say
The
Vietnam.
fight against COVID.
There has not been World War III, hopefully never will be. Yes.
Afghanistan War.
The what?
Afghanistan War.
Oh, okay. So you say the one going on right now.
The one in Afghanistan.
Okay, you're saying the
The
one going on.
Revolutionary War.
Okay. All right, what do you think?
The Spanish Gulf War, maybe.
Spanish? Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else got an idea? If you don't have an idea, keep your thoughts to yourself. What do you think, Nick?
Like the war in like the Middle East, like Iran.
Okay, the one's going on right now. Yeah, we're still going just because they don't report it on the news every night. It's still actually, their guys are still over there in harm's way. Actually, the last war that we fought in was World War II.
What?
That's what I said. I said World War II, then World
Wait, Vietnam was before that?
Nope, Vietnam was not a war. Neither was Korea, neither is the one we're in
Then why
now.
do they call it the Vietnam War?
It's a police action. Same reason they called it the Korean War, but it was a police action. War was never declared. The United States never declared war. The United States never declared war. So it's a police action. It was not a war. Now you talk to anybody who served in either one of those conflicts or is serving right now in the Middle East, and they will tell you you can call it what you want,
Well, we're fighting.
but it is war. Okay, but technically, they're just police actions. War was never declared. No.
But I wanted to read this one.
Yes, I know, and you refused to read when I asked you to, so the answer is now no. Morgan.
Historians over the years have tried to figure out who was really to blame for starting the war. Many historians today agree that Germany wanted to start the war. The German leaders felt that they were being surrounded by enemies, France and Russia, and that war was going to happen eventually. They felt that sooner the war occurred, the better chance Germany had to win.
There you go. All right.
Can I read the facts?
Okay.
I didn't even do anything, he said.
So my apologies to you guys at home for some of the behavior of your classmates.
I apologize.
Like that one right back there. Yes, bro.
Can I read an interesting fact?
No.
You see how well they pay attention in class? That's what we just read. Okay.